try this again. Buenos dias and good morning. Welcome everybody to California High School. This is our Spanish for Professionals
Recording in
ceremony.
progress.
And we're going to be celebrating our Spanish 3 and 4 students who earned their certificate with a partnership through CAHS. So first I want to welcome some special people that are online with us. So we have Dr. Kristen Majoka, which she is the Dean of the College of Education and Liberal Arts at California University of Pennsylvania. Yeah, you can clap. And we also want to give a shout out to the chair of the Department of Humanities, that is Dr. Michael Slavin, and looks like he's not with us yet, but he definitely supported Professor Sensich with this program. We want to say hi to Dr. Andrea Sensich, Professor of Spanish and the creator of this program. So let's give her a round of applause. Dr. Arcides Gonzalez, Professor of Spanish, also helped with the program. And we want to thank Mrs. Leanne Fulmer, High School Principal at California High School, for allowing us to do this unique opportunity and working with me to always bring the best opportunities to our school. Any parents, friends, or community members that are watching, we welcome you as well. And obviously to all of the wonderful students that I have sitting in the room here. So I'm going to start off just kind of explaining what the program was real quick for people watching and how you guys did in the program. So the Spanish for Professionals program is really a 30-hour course that specialized professionals can take to just learn a little bit of Spanish to help them with their career. So for example, like nurses can sign up, go to CalU, and take this course over a weekend or something like that. Police officers also have one with specialized police words and any other careers that you can think of. So this is the second year the program has been at our school, at California High School, and Dr. Sensich approached me. She was my professor at CalU when I went there, and she just thought it would be a great idea for students, especially in this area, to get more exposure to real-world situations with Spanish, practice the Spanish language, and especially video chat with her so that you can practice speaking with a real native speaker. Because since I'm not a real native speaker, I'm still learning Spanish every day too, just like you guys. So it's really cool that you've got that opportunity to talk to her. This program is extremely unique, and it's one of the only ones in the whole state of Pennsylvania in a high school. And I don't know if any of you guys knew that, but it's a really cool, unique opportunity you all got to do. So the program basically was focused on medical Spanish, and there were 4 major units, which were the doctor's office, the emergency room, the dietitian, and the hospital. So the students would learn all the vocabulary words built around those themes, practice situations with doctors and patients, and pretend to be the doctor and the patient. They did some fun skits and made up some situations of their own. And like I mentioned, video chatted with Dr. Sensich about once a week for the past 2 or 3 months. So that was some really good real-world situational Spanish skills that you can't always get if you're just reading out of a book or trying to learn the language when there's not that many Spanish speakers around here. So I just want to say before we get started with the awards that I'm really proud of all the students, and I think you guys did a really great job, especially for this being such a challenging, tough year with the pandemic and everything, with being half in school, half not in school, with having the big class, half Spanish 4, half Spanish 3. That was really challenging for you guys to, kind of get better on your own, and I hope that you did feel that you got a lot better at Spanish. And I want you all to know that I know you all learned something useful through the program. Even if it was something small, I know that you'll be better off in the future if you ever have to use Spanish. So even if you're not going into the medical field, you definitely gain something out of this program. And you might be in a situation someday where there's an emergency or someone's really sick or they need help, and you might need to know Spanish for that. And that could be anywhere you can think of. It could be here in California. You could have a neighbor move in that's a Spanish speaker. You can have a new friend that you meet in college that has all Spanish-speaking family. Even if it's just if you go to vacation in Mexico and someone gets food poisoning or something, now you guys know kind of what to do. At least you know a couple words that'll help you figure out how to get them help, or even help yourself. if you're in a situation like that. And another note is a lot of you that are going into the medical field, my sister actually works at UPMC, she's a nurse, and she just told me she has so many Spanish-speaking patients, and like we learned about access to healthcare, they have like a special car that goes around on the weekends to the Spanish-speaking communities in Pittsburgh, and they kind of like help them, give them basic medical care, because a lot of them don't have the insurance that we have or the ability to get to the doctor. So even though it seems like the Spanish-speaking world is far away, it could be right next door or right down the road. And lastly, if just learning to communicate better and kind of getting a little bit more sensitive to new cultures is something that you gain from this program, then I think that Dr. Sensich and I definitely did our jobs. The world is just changing so much every day, so it's important to have an open mind and to be sensitive and know that other people are going through different things because they're different than you. And finally, I'm really confident in all of your Spanish skills, and I hope that you guys will be confident in that too, and one day when you have to use them, you'll remember what I taught you, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I know how to say that, I'm gonna help out, or I'm gonna help this patient. Or if it's just somewhere on the side of the road, you'll be like, oh, that person needs help, I know a little bit of Spanish, so I'm gonna help them out here. So I'm really proud of you guys. You guys did an awesome job. So let's have a round of applause real quick just for your work here. And now we welcome any of the attendees from CalU if you would like to say a few words, starting with the Dean.
Thank you, Professor Bashada. Good morning, everybody. I want to introduce myself, just say just a couple of words, and then challenge you as you move forward in your love of the Spanish language. My name is Dr. Kristen Majaka. I'm the Dean of the College of Education and Liberal Arts at CalU. Language is in my college, and it's also something that I embrace personally as well as professionally. Language changes things. If you don't know that now, you have learned that this semester and this year, and you'll continue to grow as a person through language, because language is culture. You can't separate the two out. About 15 years ago, I took a trip to South America, to Ecuador, and I met a group of indigenous people in Ecuador called the Rawani. They spoke their own unique language. I had to thrice translate to have any kind of communication with that group, meaning I spoke English to a Spanish translator who then spoke Spanish to a Rawani that knew both Spanish and Rawani, and then he translated to Rawani. And it was very challenging. But one of the things that I uncovered as I was having these conversations, again, thrice translated, was that they have words that, or they don't have words that we have, which means language is meaning making, and it helps people to understand the world in which they live. And the example is they don't have a word for yesterday, and they don't have a word for tomorrow. So the only word that the Rawani people have is today. So they only understand the world in terms of what's happening today. There's no understanding of past or future when it comes to language. So language really changes the way that they move through the world. They also didn't have a word for person outside of the word Rawani. So their culture, they are the Rawani people. Rawani means person, it means human. So if you are not a Rawani, you are not a human. So when I went to their culture and visited and toured and spent time with them, we had to pay the touring company, and we had to pay them so that they wouldn't eat me because I was considered an animal. I wasn't a person to them. I wasn't a Rawani, so I wasn't a person. That's the kind of meaning that language holds. It helps us identify who we are as humans. Your name, your Spanish name, you'll remember that for the rest of your life. You'll probably use it again in a lot of different contexts. The way that we understand our surroundings, the way that we understand the way that we move through the world is understood through language. We are humans, and we are language-speaking creatures, which makes meaning. So I'm really proud of you to delve deeper, not just into language, but into what it means to be a human being in this culture and move through this world. And as Professor Bashada discussed, the Spanish language has taken on a significance in our culture today that didn't exist 10 or 15 years ago, or not in these proportions. It's the fastest growing language. It is absolutely critical to you as you move into the world as a professional. I want to challenge you to continue your studies with Spanish. Embrace the love of the language when you can, and when you can do so safely. Travel abroad, travel within the United States to other Spanish-speaking communities, volunteer. Make sure that you continue your studies at CalU or at college. Make sure that you take Spanish and continue that. You have to use it or lose it. You want to continue with your Spanish studies. And the last thing I'll say is just how very proud of you that we are. We are just so proud of Professora Sensic, Doctora Sensic, for volunteering her time, and Professora Bashada for continuing the love of language and then instilling that in you and imbibing that in you. I'm very proud of you, and this is one of my favorite ceremonies. Thank you for inviting me today, and congratulations.
All right, so we'll get started with the students receiving their certificates. So we're going to start with our 12 seniors that we have in Spanish 4. So whenever I call your name, you can just come up, grab your certificate, and then get back to your seat. So our first one is Sarah Bylowski. You can wave into the camera there. Fiona Cribbins. You can wave into the camera. Elian Garcia. Athena Georgigas. Nice job. Jamie Gregg. Way to go. Elena Nicholson. Milena Pendo. Good job. Raquel Rhodes. Jamie Springer. Matthew Trunzo. The best dressed of the day. Make sure you wave into the camera. Jada Wright. And Ella Ziegler. Way to go. Next up, we have our students from Spanish 3, which they were a new addition to the program this year since the classes were combined. So first up, we have Kira Abrams. Emma Carpenter is with us online. Elena Chiaravelli. Nice job. Arabella Kolditz. Way to go. Gia Connor. Muy bien. Brody Crockett. Way to go. Jordan Cruz. Nice job. Donovan Davis. Great job, Bob. Jenna Dixon. Way to go. Oh, yeah. Ethan Fike. Nice work.
Thank you very much.
Christine Goodwin. Way to go. Gianna Grillo. Good work. Ariana Goodell. McKenna Hewitt. Good job, way to go. Kaylee Huber. Muy bien. Fiona Hughes. Nice work. Jacob Kochman, he's not here today, but let's give a round of applause for him. Gianna O'Brien. Blaine Trabajo. Riley Padilla. Great job. Taylor Pascoe's not here today. Let's give her a round of applause. Ethan Saylor. Way to go, Mox. Alexis Sherman. Connor Vig. Another best dressed today. Great job. And Mackenzie Zimkowski. Muy bien. Let's have one last round of applause for everybody here. Nice job, guys. Way to go. So I'll just close my remarks by saying thank you to Dr. Sensich for recognizing the opportunity here at California High School, enhancing our Spanish program, and truly caring about all these kids that you only met for a couple hours on video chat. So that's really great to know somebody in the community is helping us get better every single day and get a better education and be ready for the world. Thank you to Mrs. Fulmer for allowing us to always do our ceremony and bring the best opportunities to California High School. I want to thank the Trojan TV crew for helping us set up the live stream. Let's give them a little round of applause. And finally, thank you to all of you guys, my students, for being here and working really hard to get to this point in your high school career. And I love teaching because of all of you guys. So. And lastly, if Dr. Sensich has anything to say and wants to close out the ceremony, your time is now.
Well,
Good morning, everyone. And I'm really proud of you, all the work that you have done. And from my personal, experience, where I'm coming from, this is very important because you are not just connecting with the language, you are connecting with the human, the human part of who we are. And you're learning culture, you are learning how other people perceive things in a different way. And that is so important because you will carry this knowledge at work one day. Work in when you go to the hospital or when you go to the grocery store, you will encounter situations where you will remember some of the lessons that you learned this academic year. And so I hope you will continue pursuing this type of education through language. There are so many venues. If you are going to law enforcement, education, business, you will be able to pursue the language from the professional perspective. You just learn a little bit of what is offered out there. And Cal, you wish the best for you, and I hope I will see you one day. And I will be there to guide you, to help you, and I wish you the best. So good job this academic year, and it was a challenging year for everyone, and you did fantastic. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the day. Okay.